Hello, my name's Charles Wesley and I'm the Director of Materials Management for Aircraft Group. Today I'm here to talk to you about integrated supply chain planning. There are two phases of work currently underway with integrated supply chain planning. One is for recovery and one is for transformation. This video is about the recovery phase. The recovery phase requires us to do a complete reschedule of our master production schedule. On the slide here you can see that there are many reasons why you would do a reschedule. These reasons are not based on MOG. These reasons are based on good practice that we have found from our consultants Roland Berger. You can see here that if we have a backlog of production which is greater than 8 weeks or more, then we really should consider a reschedule. If we have good visibility of parts that are on a critical path, then we should consider a reschedule. If we've got storage or working capital constraints, we should consider a reschedule. If our signals to supply chain and to operations are considered irrelevant because of shuffling of different priorities, then we should consider a reschedule. Obviously all of these are relevant to MOG, and for that reason we decided to do a complete reschedule of our master production schedule. What are the benefits of doing this? Well, we need to have predictability. We want our production plan to accurately reflect the capacity of our complete supply chain. We need to get credibility. Our customers are suffering from MOG's lack of credibility at the moment. So we want to be able to say to our customers, this is what we are going to deliver and when we are going to deliver it. We want to make our scheduling rules clear so that we know what to prioritize. And we want a transparent and standard process. Too often at the moment we are doing planning on spreadsheets and doing pull-in favours and having plant-to-plant variations. We need to standardise and make our process more transparent. So, how have we gone about this process of replanning? Well, we've taken pure demand and then we have blown that through our bill of materials using rapid response so that we can understand both our internal and supplier constraints. When we understand those constraints, then we can see our master schedule and rebalance that to make sure that those constraints are taken into account. What do I mean by constraints? I mean internally maybe there's a work centre that has a load which is greater than its capacity, and similarly with our suppliers, maybe they cannot deliver to the beat rate that we require. So we take those into account and redo a balanced master schedule. This is not changing the customer delivery dates, the S date or the P date. This is the supply plan and therefore just the master schedule. What process have we used to do this? Well, first we asked programs what priorities they require in the replan. They obviously know which customers are hurting most and which maybe that we could smooth out our plan into the future without much pain to the customer. The second step is to define capacity constraints both internally and externally. And then the third step, and is a very important one, is define action plans to remove those constraints. We obviously have to remove the constraints to be able to get a better plan, and so we have asked both operations and supply chains to do value stream improvement plans on those constraints. Once we have those plans, then we can do the master production schedule. at least a scenario of the master production schedule. On point 6 here, we communicate that replan then to the business team, to program management, and to supply chain locally, so that we can understand whether that plan is achievable and how it affects our customers. And depending on feedback from that at point 8, we might reiterate and do another scenario of that plan. And finally, at point 9, we would upload the new plan. I've purposely missed the darker grey boxes here, 5, 7 and 10, which I'll address now. Whilst doing the replan, we also need to understand what our stocking policy is for products that we're purchasing, so that we can hold stock of the right product, and when we've done the replan, rather than push out those supplies and then pull them back in because we want to put a buffer stock in, we're doing that calculation of those stocking parameters at the same time. So point 5 is to understand the stocking parameters. Point 7 is to ask supply chain to develop a plan of how they were going to introduce those new buffers. And point 10 is to upload those new parameters into our system. So that covers the whole process of replanning.